this on because I wanted to look at the wind turbines in the distance. You can see that they look pretty cool. So I'm on the road. So I left Hat Yai and I'm on the road to Nakhon Si Thammarat. And this is because I was talking to the owner of the hostel that I was staying in Hat Yai, Tong. He's a legend, man. He's such a good guy, you know. And he's from Nakhon Si Thammarat. So, and he told me basically that, you know, you should go on the right side, which is the coastal road, rather than the initial road I was thinking of taking, which takes me through, if I'm not mistaken, straight to Surat Thani and bypasses Nakhon Si Thammarat. And so yeah, and when I basically found out a bit more, there are some really cool things to do and see in Nakhon Si Thammarat that I guess if you just fly by, you know, drive straight on to Bangkok from the border, you would miss it, right? So yeah, and also this is my second week, maybe. Is it second week or first week drive? No, it's my first week driving in Thailand. And there's a few things about driving in Thailand that is pretty interesting and good to know. Okay, so these are the top 5 things about driving in Thailand that I think will be useful to know. Number 1, they drive on the left-hand side of the road. So Malaysians, don't worry. It's exactly the same way that we drive back in Malaysia. It's the same way you drive in UK. But the moment I think you enter to Laos or Vietnam, it's gonna be on the other side of the road, like in America, right? So if you're used to driving in Malaysia, you'll have no problems driving here. And if you're usually drive on the right-hand side of the road, well, just take notice. Just be careful and know that Thailand drives on the left-hand side of the road. So yes, okay, that's number 1. Number 2, Thailand maintains their roads really well, right? I mean, you can look at this road. This is the coastal road that I'm taking to Nakhon Si Thammarat. I mean, I call it the coastal road. I don't know whether it's called the coastal road because basically it hugs the coast, right? The sea is on my right. You can't see it, but it's there on the map. It's right next to the sea, and it's well maintained and it's clean. And the best thing about it so far is, like, you look at this road, right? You don't pay for it. There are no tolls. Okay, you drive here, you don't have to pay a toll for the highways like you do in Malaysia and other areas, other countries. So yeah, so the only toll I paid recently was for a ferry, which was funny because I didn't expect to go over Lake Songkhla on a ferry, but I did because it's such a short distance. So they have this ferry, small ferries that's like a daily commute. You know, you take the ferry to go to the other side, to the other island, right? So otherwise you take a long way around. So yeah, good roads, no toll. I don't know whether there'll be tolls that I need to pay as I head closer to Bangkok. But you know what? Just like a road like this and traveling up from Bukit Kayu Hitam, I did not pay a single toll, okay, in Thailand. So that's number 2. Number 3, okay, is parking. So the parking lines and all that initially was a bit confusing for me until I basically just found out a little bit more. Essentially, when you park, if you see a line like a white line on the side of the road, or of course parking boxes, you can park, right? You park inside, you know, on the shoulder, okay. except areas where on the curb it's painted, I think, yellow and white and red and white, right? So those are no parking zones. And there are certain parts where it's not painted, but there's a sign that says, you know, no parking from 7 to 7 or something like that. So just keep your eyes out, especially in the crowded areas in the city. They usually have that restriction on parking. And even if you don't see the restrictions, you know, just ask where, if there's a shop in front of you and all that. Is it okay to park here? Because sometimes it's the shop front, and even though legally I think you can park, it'd be just nice to just ask for permission, or just be nice, okay? And similarly, I don't pay for parking. There's no parking, right? I mean, there's no app to pay for parking like in KL or Penang or in Malaysia. It's just basically you park there, it's free, right? And I was earlier in working out from a cafe in Hat Yai. It's a nice cafe, and they have a dedicated sort of parking area opposite, and it's just an open car park like what we have in Malaysia and other areas. No car park fees, no jaga kereta, you just park there, right? So I think that's pretty cool, right? Especially coming from Malaysia, where so I asked, okay, how much to pay for parking? How do I pay for parking? How do I do this? And it's just that no, actually you don't need to pay for parking. Okay. Oh yeah. And in Hat Yai, I drove into Central Festival, right? Even one of the biggest and one of the best, if not, I don't know, it's definitely the biggest in Hat Yai, but one of the best shopping malls probably in the country. Someone told me parking is free. You go in, they give you a card, you park, you get out, you leave the car, and that's it. They don't charge you for it. So it's like, wow, right? And the thing about that parking also that made me feel really good was, you go in, and I was asking, okay, because my car is tall and I know most parkings are 2.1 meters and I won't be able to get in. So I was asking the girl at the car park barrier, you know, as I went in, whether I could park, you know, outdoors. She said, no, there's parking. Don't worry, just go in. There's parking. And I realized why. Because as you go into the parking, there are two lanes. Okay, one lane is for 2.1 and one lane is for 3 meters. So it's like, whoa. So they dedicated a space for tall cars. Okay, so they expect there will be cars that are taller than 2.1, and they dedicated an area in the parking for cars that are taller than 2.1 meters. And I was like, oh my god, yes. You know, it's like I felt like, you know, I was left out, or I wasn't allowed into a place or a lot of places, and suddenly this spanking shiny place said, yes, James, your car, you're welcome. Okay, come on in, you know. So it's like, it felt really good. So yeah, so even that, I didn't have to pay for parking. So there's the third thing. The fourth thing, and this is, I love this, right, is that you almost hear no honking in Thailand on the roads, right? Even when it's a traffic jam right in front of you, or you're caught in the jam, nobody honks, right? So why is that? So the reason is, in Thailand, it's considered very, very rude, okay, to honk, because you're causing distress to the other person, and you're actually bringing attention to perhaps whatever the other person might be doing or doing wrong, and you're making that person feel uncomfortable, so you don't honk. And in fact, I heard only twice, okay, honks, and I was being honked at. So yeah, so and both times were on a highway like this, where the first time was there was some cars on the side, so I was just inching up just a bit out, and I got a quick honk, and the honk wasn't like bam. They don't do that. It's like bam, you know. It's just a polite honk, and there was a trailer coming, overtaking, and I was sort of like inching too far out, and I might be in danger, right? Second time was again, similarly, there was something on my left, so I turned back out a bit to the right, and I got honked by a bike that was traveling in high speed. Again, it's like bam, you know. So it's not like in other places, you know, Vietnam, Malaysia, or China, or elsewhere, where it goes bang, you know. So in summary, when they honk in Thailand, it is not like in other places, right? Like it is like honk, you asshole, you're blocking my way, you're taking my wine, you don't know how to drive. Who taught you this is grandmother's road? You know, who taught you how to drive? You know what? It's not that. It is the honk comes only when the message is, hey, be careful. That's the difference. Okay, it's not putting you down, being mad at you, or you know, telling you how stupid you are and all this kind of stuff, and you don't know how to drive. It is to, hey, be careful. That's where the honk comes in. Which brings to mind, like, maybe that's the reason why that could be contributing to minimum road rage incidents in Thailand. I'm not sure, I haven't Googled it up, but at least, at the very least, when you're driving, like even when I was driving in Hajar, I was caught up in traffic, there is very little stress, because you know you're stuck there, you're inching your way, you're trying to get somewhere, you say sorry, say thank you, or whatever like that, and you don't have the constant barrage, the constant cacophony of you know, and all that, increasing your stress levels, right? And I've seen videos of India, and India is like, you don't drive without a honk apparently in Delhi or whatever. Like, everybody's honking, right? And you know what? I think it contributes directly to your stress level, because it's basically noise pollution, and you're doing it out of frustration. So you're feeding your frustration, and you're making it worse by feeding other people's frustrations too by honking. So that's the fourth thing, right? So the fifth and the last one that comes to mind is this, especially for Malaysian drivers, right? We are lucky. Prices of petrol and diesel here is on average 2 times more expensive than in Malaysia. And in fact, for diesel, I saw, because every single gas station, petrol station, you know, advertise their prices just like in America. So it's not regulated like in Malaysia, where it's fixed, right? So I saw once, like I was driving past a diesel, and it was 50 plus baht per liter. All right. Now, what does that mean? Okay, 50 plus baht means it's about 6 ringgit plus, okay, per liter. I paid 2 ringgit and 15 cents in Malaysia. That's 1/3 the cost of the same diesel and same cost of petrol fuel in Thailand. So hang on. So there's a roadblock in front. So I don't know what's going on. So let's see. They may be checking stuff. Make sure my passport is with me. I'm about 70 kilometers from Kiriwong village. Kiriwong village is actually maybe about 30 minutes from Nakhon Si Thammarat, and from what I've heard, is a really good place to visit, and the air is really clean and it's good. So Tong again recommended that I check that out, and he said maybe you can even camp there. So that's why I'm going. So what's going on here? Okay, all right. Oh, it's the police. So maybe it's a roadblock, dude. It's an APB, you know, something like that. I don't know. So yeah, let's see what's going on, but I'll talk to you later.